The morning Josh disappeared was ordinary. That was the worst part. Emily remembered the warmth of his kiss on her temple, the scent of his cedarwood cologne lingering in the air. He'd left the coffee steaming in her favorite mug. #OneMom. The one their daughter Ava had painted in kindergarten. She smiled when she saw it. That smile would haunt her for years. Josh had promised to pick up Ava from school. He never showed. He didn't come home for dinner. Didn't call. Didn't text. Didn't answer. At 9:23 p.m., Emily called 911. By midnight, the police were at her house. The questions began. Had he ever gone missing before? Was there a fight? Drugs? Debt? Other women? The answers were always no. Always confusion. Always tears. For the first week, she didn't sleep. She just sat by the window, phone in hand, staring at the driveway. Every set of headlights made her heart leap, until they passed by. By the third week, she realized something terrifying. No one was looking for him anymore. And worse, no one seemed to care. Emily refused to move his things. Josh's jacket stayed on the coat rack. His toothbrush stood in the holder, frayed and blue. His favorite hoodie, soft and worn from years of movie nights, still sat folded at the foot of their bed. People called her stubborn, delusional. Her mother suggested a grief counselor. Her best friend, Mallory, gently nudged her toward closure. The cops said what they always say. Adults are allowed to disappear. But Emily knew something was wrong. Her husband hadn't left her. He had vanished. Ava was only 6 when it happened. She cried herself to sleep for weeks. "Did Daddy get lost?" she asked once, clutching her unicorn nightlight. Emily didn't know what to say, so she lied. He'll find his way back. But he never did. The years didn't dull the ache. They just taught her how to live around it. Emily moved on, but never really forward. She raised Ava, took over the family bakery, smiled for pictures, avoided dating apps, learned how to fake normal. By the time Ava was 16, their house was quieter, older, and full of ghosts. The roof started leaking in March. The contractor said it was the attic insulation. Emily hadn't been up there since before Josh disappeared. "I'll take care of it," she told him. It was a lie. She didn't want to face what was up there, boxes of memories, wedding albums, his high school Letterman jacket, and the cold attic air that still smelled like cedar. But she went. She had to. It sat in the far corner, behind a stack of old holiday decorations and an unopened crockpot from their wedding registry. A wooden trunk. She didn't recognize it. Not from moving in. Not from years of spring cleaning. It was heavy, aged, with tarnished brass edges and a faint etching on the top. J.W. Josh Wright. Emily's breath caught. She brushed away dust with trembling fingers. The clasp clicked open easily. Inside, a shoebox tied with red twine, yellowed envelopes, a torn leather journal, and a Polaroid. She pulled it out, hand shaking. Josh, standing beside a woman with auburn hair. They were laughing, holding a newborn wrapped in a floral blanket. The timestamp read, June 14th, 2017. Emily's stomach dropped. Josh disappeared in April of 2015. This photo was taken 2 years later. He wasn't dead. He had a new life, a new family. She didn't mean to read it. She told herself it was wrong. But once she opened it, she couldn't stop. Josh's handwriting, messy, slanted, familiar, filled every page. Her name is Mara. She looks like Ava did at her age. Same eyes. I miss Em. I dream about her. But it's too late. If they find out I lied, it won't just be me they come for. Emily blinked. What was he talking about? Rebecca still doesn't know the whole truth. I didn't tell her about the money, about Henry, about why I really left. I buried the box for her, for Emily. Someday she'll find it. Maybe she'll understand. If you're reading this, I'm sorry. I try to keep you safe. Emily closed the journal. Her hands were ice. She couldn't sleep, couldn't eat, couldn't breathe. She looked again at the photo. The woman's face was kind, peaceful, unaware. The baby, Mara, had a name stitched into her blanket. That was the key. By morning, Emily was sitting in the town clerk's office in Portland, Maine. I'm looking for a birth certificate, she told the clerk. Name Mara. Last name, right? Born around June 14th, 2017. The woman raised an eyebrow but typed it in, and there it was. Mara Eloise Wright. Mother, Rebecca Lang. Father, Joshua L. Wright. Emily stared at the screen. She had a daughter. He had another life. And he never told her. The betrayal burned worse than the absence. And yet, part of her wasn't angry. Part of her just wanted to understand why. The drive to Portland was quiet. Ava was at a school trip in Boston for the weekend, and Emily took that as a sign. She needed space, and so did the truth. With the journal in her bag and the photo in her glove compartment, she followed the GPS to the address listed on Mara's birth certificate. A pale blue craftsman house sat at the end of a sleepy cul-de-sac. The porch swing creaked in the breeze. A toy unicorn scooter leaned against the railing. Emily's heart pounded. What was she even doing here? What would she say? Hi, I'm Josh's wife. Or was. She didn't need to knock. The door opened before she reached it. A woman stood there. Auburn hair. Freckles. The woman from the photo. Can I help you? Rebecca asked, her voice cautious but polite. Emily hesitated. Her throat was dry. I'm Emily. Emily Wright. I think we need to talk. Rebecca's face went pale. Inside the house, Rebecca made tea. Neither of them drank it. How did you find me? She asked. Emily placed a photo on the table. Rebecca gasped. That was... Josh said he burned all of these. So he told you about me? Emily asked, her voice flat. Rebecca's eyes filled with tears. Not at first. He said he had a past. One he couldn't go back to. I didn't know about you until after Mara was born. He told me you'd moved on, that you hated him, that it was better this way. Emily sat back. The weight of betrayal layered itself again. I never hated him. I waited. I searched. For 10 years. Rebecca pulled out her phone and tapped through photos. There he was. Josh, holding Mara, laughing at Christmas, carving pumpkins. He looked happy. Whole. But he was also missing. I haven't seen him in over a year, Rebecca admitted. He left one night. No note. No goodbye. Emily's breath caught. He left you too. Rebecca nodded. I think he was scared. Of what? And that's when Rebecca pulled out something Emily hadn't expected. A second journal. Labeled HL. HL. Emily's mind raced. Josh had written about Henry in the first journal. Rebecca flipped it open. Henry Lang. My brother, she said. He and Josh were in something together. Some kind of business or investment. But it was more than that. Dangerous. Emily read a passage aloud. Henry warned me. If I walk, I take the secret with me. But I have to. I can't be part of this anymore. I want a normal life. With them. With Ava. Another page. If they ever find the offshore account, everything unravels. Henry says if I talk, he'll make me disappear. Emily stared at Rebecca. Henry made him leave? Rebecca nodded slowly. I think Josh was trying to protect you. Me. All of us. But the question now wasn't just why he left. It was, where is he now? That night, Emily parked at a nearby motel. She couldn't bear to go home yet. She paced, thinking, rereading both journals, piecing together timelines. Josh had disappeared from 2 lives now. The common thread? Henry Lang. She searched his name online. Nothing came up. No social media. No business listings. But then, on an old Reddit finance forum, she found something. Anyone here remember the Lang Ponzi deal in 14? Guy vanished right before the SEC closed in. Emily's skin prickled. She copied the name and photos into a search engine. A link to a cached article popped up. FBI seeks info on Henry Lang in connection to international fraud case. Suspected of witness threats. Josh had been protecting them. Suddenly, headlights flashed through her motel window. A black SUV idled across the parking lot. It hadn't moved in over 20 minutes. Emily grabbed the journals and ducked. Was someone watching her? Emily drove home in silence. Ava was waiting on the porch. You okay, Mom? You didn't answer my texts. I'm fine, Emily lied. but Ava could see through her. You found something, didn't you? About Dad. Emily hesitated, then nodded. He was alive. After he left us. He had another family. Shock rippled across Ava's face. And now he's gone again. But I think someone dangerous is involved. I think we might be being watched. Ava's jaw tightened. I found something too, she said, pulling out an old MP3 recorder. This was Dad's. I found it in the piano bench years ago, but forgot about it. There's one recording. Emily pressed play. Josh's voice crackled. If you're hearing this, I'm either dead or running. I never meant to lie. But Henry, he's not who you think he is. He's connected to people who erase problems. People who make people vanish. And now, I'm one of them. I left clues in 3 places. The attic, Rebecca's bookshelf, and a locker in Grand Central. If you love me, find them before they do. Emily booked a ticket to New York that night. Ava insisted on coming. She wouldn't let her mother walk into danger alone. Grand Central buzzed with life. Tourists, commuters, couples hand in hand, all oblivious to the secret hidden in the underbelly of Manhattan. Locker 918 was tucked in the far corridor. The key had been taped to the back of Josh's photo, something Emily noticed only after hearing the recording. She inserted it. Click. Inside, a flash drive, a burner phone, and a folded note. You're close. But Henry is closer. If you want to finish this, go to the cabin. The one we stayed at for our anniversary. You'll know what to do. The burner phone buzzed to life. One message. One video. Josh. Bruised. Thin. Alive. They found me. I don't know how long I have. But if you get this, please, don't trust anyone. Not even the FBI. Especially not them. The drive to the cabin was long and tense. Emily hadn't been there since their 7th anniversary. It was a place frozen in time. Pine needles on the roof. The wind brushing past memories. They arrived just before sunset. Inside, everything was just as they left it. The old rocking chair, the chessboard mid-game, the framed picture of 3 of them at the lake. And then Ava saw it first. An envelope taped under the drawer of Josh's writing desk. It read, Plan B. Inside were detailed documents, names, dates, transaction ledgers, and a map. The map was hand-drawn, but it showed something shocking. An underground safe house, built by Henry, hidden under an old storage facility in Pennsylvania. Ava pointed to the bottom corner. Look, he wrote, bring Rebecca. Emily's heart froze. What was waiting there that required all of them? They called Rebecca. She didn't hesitate. 3 women, bound by pain, united by a man who vanished. They met in a diner just outside the Pennsylvania state line. They drove together, silent, tense. The storage facility was falling apart. But in the back, behind a false wall in Unit 76, they found it. A door. A keypad. Josh's birthday as the code. The door creaked open to reveal a hidden room, monitors, old footage, stacks of cash, and then, from the back, a cough. Josh. Alive. Barely. Emily. Ava. Rebecca. You made it. But they weren't alone. Footsteps above. Voices. Henry had found them too. The footsteps grew louder. Emily looked at Josh, frail and trembling but alive. Ava locked the hidden door, sealing them inside the underground room. The emergency lights flickered. There's a back exit, Josh said, wincing as he tried to stand. But we have to move now. Rebecca helped him up. How long have you been here? 2 months, he whispered. I escaped. Faked my death. Henry's been hunting me since. Emily clutched the flash drive. What's on this? Everything. Every illegal deal. Offshore accounts. Blackmail. If we leak it, Henry loses everything. Bang! A steel clang echoed through the vents. They were trying to force their way in. Ava grabbed a crowbar from the shelf. Let's go. Now. The back tunnel was narrow, lit only by flickering emergency bulbs. At the end, an old ladder led to a storm drain. They climbed one by one, helping Josh up last. They emerged in a wooded area behind the facility, panting, adrenaline pulsing. Josh collapsed. I left because I thought I was protecting you, he said, but I made it worse. Emily knelt beside him. You should have told me. We could have faced it together. He pulled out a crumpled letter from his coat pocket. I wrote this for you. Every year. I kept it with me. I never stopped loving you, Em. Tears welled in her eyes. We're not done yet. We have work to do. They headed to the nearest library to upload the files. The flash drive contained everything. Wire transfers, secret recordings, names of government officials on the take. Emily used an encrypted network to send it all to a trusted journalist Josh once mentioned, Leo Ortiz, an independent investigator known for exposing political corruption. Within 24 hours, it was all over the news. Massive fraud network exposed. FBI under scrutiny. Names were named. Photos shown. One in particular, Henry Lang, was declared armed and dangerous. Emily and her family were placed in protective custody. But even in hiding, she knew it wasn't over. Henry wasn't going to run. He was going to retaliate. Weeks passed. The world moved on. But not for Emily. Then one morning, she got a letter. No stamp. Just her name. Inside, you may have won the public, but you don't know everything. Josh isn't who you think he is. He never was. She dropped the letter, her hands trembling. Josh stepped into the room, holding Ava's hand. He looked different. Stronger. Emily. She looked up. Is there more? She asked. He didn't answer. Want to know what happens next. Should Emily believe Josh, or has he been hiding an even darker truth all along? Subscribe to Haven Tales for the shocking sequel, The Man Who Disappeared Twice. Drop a comment if you think Henry's still pulling the strings, or if Josh is playing a deeper game.